Hey Ravens flock, how's it going? It's Mills RX here, coming at you from the Ravens Minute Clinic, and yep, here. Happy Purple Friday, everyone. That means that we are 2 days away from playing the Dolphins. Now, I'm going to tell you, the Dolphins looked very good against the Patriots. That new offense and all those weapons they got Tua definitely helped them out. He was spinning the ball all over the yard, and it looks like he has a good chemistry with not only with Jalen Waddle, of course, but also Tyreek Hill and even Cedric Wilson. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough. It's going to be a pretty tough game, and it's going to be a really fun game, especially with the Florida connection with so many of our Ravens. But how healthy are we? Now, we have a lot of injuries that we suffered that we learned about this week, and hopefully we can somehow field a team that isn't as injury prone or dealing with chronic injuries. So because we've just been hit by the injury bug, as we all know. So I'm going to walk you through the official report that was released earlier today and who I think is going to be in and out. So, yep, here we're going to take a look at it. Now, I'm going to try to make this a regular thing now because I got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of good views. Thank you all so much for viewing the week one injury preview. And I got a lot of great comments on Twitter. So, it seems like you guys like this stuff. So, I'm going to try to make this a regular thing like every Friday, try to do it Friday or Saturday when I can. So yeah, so we're gonna jump into and I'm rebranding this the Flock Checkup because as you can see, the mission statement of the Ravens Minute Clinic is to keep the flock healthy. That's what we try to do here. Try to keep you healthy and give you all the info you need about the injuries that our players have and how long it'll take and pretty much how the mechanisms work and the recovery timeline. So let's get into it. Okay, here is the official injury report that was released. Now, we have 6 players who are questionable and 2 players who are doubtful. Now, we're going to begin with one of my biggest surprises of the week, J.K. Dobbins. Not he had 3 full practices. Now, I expected him to maybe get in a limited one because as I've said repeatedly, I don't believe his the soft tissue in his knee is ready. But apparently the rehab and the PT schedule that our amazing training staff head by Adrian Dixon is doing it got him ready. He's been upgraded to questionable and he has a real chance to play week 2. So good on you, J.K. Dobbins. You've been putting in the work. So if we can get him back, great. Now, a really concerning injury and one that just kind of popped up was Marlon Humphrey, our number one corner. Now, he didn't practice Wednesday and he was limited Thursday and he didn't practice today. A lot of people were wondering why. He has a growing injury. Now, according to sources, it is a growing strain. Now, I believe he may have overstretched or pulled one of his adductor muscles. Hopefully, not the adductor longus, which is the strongest muscle. As I mentioned before, it runs from the top of your femur. It runs from your pelvic bone all the way to the back of your calf, and it is a very strong and long muscle, and one of the main adductor muscles. So hopefully, he didn't strain that one. So he's questionable right now, and we'll see where that goes. Another big surprise was Travis Jones. Now, as you know, he hyperextended his left knee, and he also suffered a mild MCL sprain. That was confirmed. MRI confirmed that as well. So and the ligament that he did injure was the MCL. It was intact, but it was still it had micro tears in it, but nothing too serious. So that's why he was able to practice, and he got in a limited session, and then he upgraded to 2 full sessions. Now he's gone from completely out to questionable in 3 days. That's really impressive. He's putting in work, but we shouldn't rush him back. So we'll see where that goes, but I still think he needs about a week or so, and he'll be good. A bit of a mixed bag from Marcus Peters. He started limited, then upgraded to a full, then got in another limited session today. Probably was precautionary. He's questionable. He's a coin flip. No one really knows except him. So yeah, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Um, James Prochet, like I said, he's been dealing with soft tissue injuries since the beginning of training camp. First a hamstring, and the hamstring that was lingering. It. Now he has another growing injury. It is a growing strain. It's a grade one growing strain. He has pulled one of the inguinal muscles and near his pelvis, and that is going to definitely. He's doubtful. I don't think he plays. He's going to be said, yeah, he's going to be on the bench. He will probably be inactive, and we'll get to actives and inactives later. But I don't think he suits up. He's unlikely to play anyway. Another one is Patrick Ricard. Now he didn't practice. He didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he got in a limited session today. Now he is dealing with a calf strain. Now he was able to do individual drills, but he wasn't really with team drills. So take with that what you mean. Say take with that from that what you want, but I don't really see why he's questionable. I would make him doubtful because he didn't practice and he only got in a limited session. And from what I hear, the calf is tight. It's really tight. It's like there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension right there in in the calf muscle. So and it's and he's dealing with some pain. So I don't know where the questionable tag came from. I was doubtful. Don't agree with that, but we'll monitor and see what that is. Oh, the biggest question mark of the year, Ronnie Stanley. He is listed as doubtful. He got a limited session in, but then he didn't practice Thursday. That was an evaluation day because he was feeling some soreness and he was also feeling a little tightness in his ankle, mainly around the ligaments and stuff like that, which is not good. He was able to upgrade to a limited session today, but the Ravens still put a doubtful tag on him. And once this precautionary, he probably will not play. So, so look for that. So he's unlikely, and yep. And unfortunately, we lost Jawan James after he re-ruptured the same Achilles tendon he worked his way back from. So he's out for the season. Maybe we go with Morgan Moses at left tackle, maybe Patrick McCarry, but Patrick McCarry plays primarily on the right, so I don't think that's so I don't think they would even try to put him on left tackle. So maybe Morgan Moses or and maybe Patrick McCarry. He's a swing tackle, so maybe they put Patrick McCarry on the right, or maybe they let Daniel Falele make his NFL debut and put him on the right. We'll just see what our tackle situation is on game day. And another surprising injury was Brandon Stevens. He came up with a quad injury. Now it was officially as quad soreness, and we don't know the how his quad is doing right now. I don't think he's trained it. I think it's really just some soreness, maybe a little inflammation. We don't have that much info on it, but he is going with a pretty. It's probably a grade one injury. If it was a grade two injury, he would have been out already. So probably just a grade one quad injury. He had a limited practice Wednesday and did not practice the rest of the week. Once again, I don't understand the questionable tag. I would make him doubtful because he'd be unlikely to play. He missed two practices toward the end of the weekend. Normally, if you see DNPs on Thursday, and if he gets another one Friday, it's really likely that the person will not play. So, yep, that's our official game. That's the official injury report for Week 2 against the Dolphins. And speaking of them, let's see how they're matching up with us. Hope everyone can see that. Yeah, this is so. Let's take a look at the Dolphins injury report. You can see the this is the official NFL injury report for both the Dolphins and Ravens game. But we're going to focus on the bottom with the Dolphins. First we're going to begin with their like a backup, one of their running backs. They have a three-headed monster at running back with Ahmed. I think it's just Mostert and Ahmed. Yeah, I think it's just Mostert and Ahmed pretty much. But anyway, Salvon Ahmed, he has a heel contusion. Um, He didn't practice Wednesday, but he got into limited sessions. He is questionable. Expect him to be a true game time decision. We don't know if he plays, but let's look for that. The left tackle who I believe they got from the Saints. Yeah, they got from the Saints, Teron Armstead, to help beef up that offensive line. He's one of the better left tackles in the game. He has a toe injury. He has a toe injury. It's not turf toe, because if it was turf toe, he wouldn't have practiced much of it. It's toe inflammation. He has a small. So he has some pain in the MTP joint, which is the main joint in your big toe. So he didn't practice Wednesday, but it registered 2 limited sessions, like Salvon. Expect him to be game time decision as well. Now, one of the backup tight ends, see, his name is Sethan Carter. He has a concussion. He's in concussion protocol. Didn't practice all week. He's been officially ruled out, so he probably wouldn't have seen much of the field anyway. And and because because they have Mike Gesicki, but even though he hasn't getting much targets, he's still a top wide receiver in the game. So a top tight end in the game. So yeah, so probably they'll just go with Mike Gesicki and probably another tight end. Um, and it'll probably be this one right, this guy right here, Hunter Long. He has an ankle injury, it's a mild ankle sprain. From what I've heard, he didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, but got a limited session today. Questionable. We'll see, but I don't think he plays because he didn't practice. Oh, one of the great. I love watching this guy at Clemson, Christian Wilkins, from the defensive tackle. He's coming off of he had back spasms. He had back spasms, and he was in some pain. He was able to do some work during the week, but not like, I mean, he didn't practice Wednesday, but he got into limited sessions, so he's questionable. Expect him to be a true game time decision, and a part of that three-headed monster at wide receiver, Cedric Wilson. He has a toe problem. He has a toe problem. Now I believe he does have turf toe. Um, yeah, I believe he does have turf toe, and he did practice Wednesday, but got into limited sessions. He'll be questionable. He'll be a game time decision. So, yep. So not as banged up as we are, but they have a few questions on both sides of the ball for the Dolphins. And but I tell you this, we could be down our top three. We have five corners on our roster, and we could be down three of them. And us going up against Tyreek Cheetah Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Cedric Wilson, if he plays, with I believe we would only have what, Pepe Williams and Jalen Armour Davis if he plays. Um, maybe maybe if Stevens play, I don't believe Stevens play. I don't believe Stevens plays. But if he does play, maybe he'll get some said maybe he'll be up against Cheetah Hill, and even that Brandon Stevens is great, but him against Tyreek Hill, I don't like that matchup at all. But we'll see how it all goes. So, yep, that's the Dolphins injury report. Now here are what I believe will be our game time decisions. Is, like I said, the big surprise, J.K. Dobbins. Like he went from they're being really hush hush and they're being really precautious with him. But given the amount of work he put in this week, I wouldn't be surprised if he played week 2. But he's a game time decision. He's a coin flip. I really don't know. So is Marcus Peters. He's worked well his way back from the ACL, and pretty much of the four we were really worried about, Marcus Peters, J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards and Ronnie Stanley. He was is it I'd say Marcus Peters was actually maybe the closest to returning, because he even though he was hush hush with his rehab obviously was really good. Looking at how he did pregame warmups last time, I wouldn't be surprised if he played either. And also Travis Jones, he came back really strong from the hyperextended left knee, and his MCL, as I said, was intact. It was just overstretched. So I wouldn't be surprised if he played. Now, even though these guys had great weeks of practice, where do I believe they'll really stack up? Now, in our actives inactive list, now I don't agree. Now you might be surprised by this, judging by what I've said on Twitter and things of that nature. Like I said, Marcus Peters, the way he's looked, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays. Now, I'm going to put J.K. Dobbins in the actives list, and you're probably thinking, is it, well, dude, you're ultra conservative on Twitter, going like he needs 2 weeks, he needs another 2 weeks. I do believe that, but given the amount of work he does and looking at how kind of stagnant our running game was, I don't want us to rush him back, but he may suit up week 2. But I would give this caveat: he will have a limited workload. Mm, I'd say 15 to 18 touches if he does, if that. Expect a heavy dose of Kenyon Drake and Justice Hill, because I think Mike Davis he may be in the doghouse after fumbling, and we all know that Coach Harbaugh, he does not like fumbles. Ball security. That's one of the big things that he'll take from his running backs. So yeah, expect a heavy dose of Justice Hill and Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake will probably get start, and maybe some goal line work over here and there for J.K. Dobbins, but 15 to 18 touches. Now, our inactive list will be very long. Like I said, Marlon Humphreys, I think that growing injury is an adductor strain. Hopefully it's not, but it may be adductor strain. I don't think he plays. Patrick Ricard only practiced once, and that calf strain is probably bothering him, so I don't think he plays either. We don't know when Ronnie Stanley is going to be back. Um, he returned to practice today, and he looked pretty good in the video posted by, I believe that was Jamison Hensley, who had a picture of him doing blocking drills. He looked good, but we need more information about how his ligaments are holding up. Looks like they were doing well, but we still don't know when Ronnie Stanley is going to return, so he'll be out. James Prochet, do not think he's been dealing with too many soft tissue injuries. That is a growing strain, a grade 1 growing strain. I don't expect him to play. It's precautionary measure. And even though he put in some good work, Travis Jones needs one more week, at least a good one more week for the MCL to get strengthened, and one more week of PT, and he should be fine. And yep, those are my thoughts on the official injury report and who do I think is going to play and not play. So yeah, hopefully we can come in healthier than we've been, and hopefully we can put on a good game, because it's going to be tough. We're going to need our vaunted secondary is going to be tested by all the speed that the Dolphins have on the perimeters and all from their skill positions. We cannot let them get behind us. I believe the defensive coordinator said today. They asked him, they said, "Well, what's your game plan? What's your game plan against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?" He was like, "Oh, simple. Just don't let them get behind you." So yeah, that's fun. So yep, that's it. Mills RX here. You can follow me at Game Medicine on Twitter, and also check out my YouTube channel, Game Medicine. Same thing. Have a great weekend, and hopefully be a good game. Go Ravens.